In memory of Mars. It is a great sadness for me, but also a huge honor to be included today in your celebration of Mars's life. Where to begin? Where to end? In the case of Marius Van Besien, I always thought there would be no end. It's 30 years or so since he first picked me up at the Belgian Hall in Delhi. I was waiting alone with a massive old suitcase, having flown from Ireland and travelled from Toronto by bus to pick tobacco for the summer. Tobacco picking in Canada, the poster had read on the concourse wall of my old university in Galway. Limited places available, it said. I remember the poster halting me in my tracks. I suddenly wanted to do this, and I found myself removing all the posters in the belief that I'd missed my opportunity and that the places may already have been filled. Hence the reason I was now alone in Delhi's Belgian Hall. I wondered if I'd made a mistake. And then he was towering over me, Marius Van Besien, asking if I wanted a beer. I said I'd have a light one, only because I didn't want him to think he was hiring someone who was fond of drink. He gave me a quizzical look. "You sure about that?" he asked, and I instantly heard myself say, "Okay then, I'll have a real one." And he gave me a wry smile, ordered me a Molson Canadian, which we drank, before heading for his truck. And I still recall his laughter when I promptly got into the driver's side. "You going to drive?" he asked me. And we Irish will always find it difficult to understand why you all drive on the wrong side of the road. And all those times you saw a bunch of Irish primers sitting on deck chairs on the back of a pickup heading to Langton, it was because we didn't know which side of the front of the truck to get into. Marius and I chatted like old buddies as he drove me back to the farm for the first of many times. And thus began a friendship that never ended. So last Tuesday, when I heard the sad news at 12:37 Irish time that my dear old friend had left us, I felt his passing deserved a word from this bereft Aegis in Ireland. He was the fairest boss I've known, and I've had a few jobs. That first summer was to be the start of an Irish student tobacco programme that Mars and I coordinated for the guts of 10 years with the help of my ever-reliable friend Christine Jacob at the Tobacco Marketing Board. Over the course of many years, in various job interviews, when asked if I ever held a position of responsibility, I would proclaim that I was the Irish recruiter for the Ontario Flu-Cured Tobacco Growers Marketing Board. Now there's a conversation stopper and starter all in one. Oh yeah. Thoughts of Marius bring a rush of endless harvest memories. Cold early mornings, bunkhouse hangovers, Marianne's wonderful coffee, and even more wonderful cabbage rolls. Fishing expeditions to Turkey Point, the Moonlighter, Karen on the boat truck, Kathy on the tractor, campfires, barbecues, harvest parties, Michelle driving us to the sandbar, and many hours later, Michelle driving us home to the bunkhouse in a far less presentable state than that in which we left it. We young Irish didn't know what Boilermakers were until we went to Canada. Evenings of beers, of comradeship, and above all, laughter. As you Canadians would say, man, could Marius ever laugh. He was gentle, kind, and infectious. A lover of people and of life. He was larger than life. And there are countless guys in Ireland today who have a wealth of tobacco-picking stories to tell because of Marius Van Besien. These stories were the basis of a play of mine, Tillsonburg, which played in CanStage, Toronto, and to which Mars brought numerous tobacco farmers in buses from all over the tobacco belt. And they were the most wonderful audience. What I wouldn't give today to be travelling to the airport with a bunch of mad Irish paddies to board a flight to tobacco country, my suitcase packed with work clothes, not a care in the world, and my old buddy Mars waiting to greet us with his big grin and cold beers for all. This evening, I will once again play the tune that was the soundtrack of our tobacco-picking experience. Stomp and Tom Connors singing Tillsonburg. Oh, how that song filled our bunkhouse amid arguments over bread and beer. Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. Today, my heart aches too. Mars, I'll see you further on up the road. Love, your old buddy Mal.